Hey everyone, welcome to the Morning Wound channel. I'm your host, Kat Shoulders, and I am joined today by Zach Weiss, our co-founder. Hey Zach, how's it going?
Good. Excited to be here.
Yeah, we have something fun to talk about today. Yes. So we literally just hours ago got in the new Tudor FXD Pelagos FX. It's a long name.
Pelagos FXD GMT Zulu Time, I believe
Time.
Is how it goes, yeah.
And we're pretty excited about it.
Yes, certainly.
So, Zach, we actually talked about this watch on the podcast, I think, last week? And we all sort of had our differing opinions, but at first glance, obviously, we've only had it for about an hour now. What's your initial thoughts on the watch?
My initial thoughts, I expected to like it, and I do like it. Every time I've tried on a Pelagos FXD, the original MN one or like the black, kind of mainline one they came out with after, I put them on. I'm always just like, wears very well. They're thin. The 42 millimeter case size sounds a lot bigger than it feels.
Definitely.
They're light because of titanium. I think they're a little bit thinner than the original Pelagoses as well. They're like 12.7, something like that. So yeah, they just wear really well, and they look like super aggro in a fun way. Great like tool watch vibes. And yeah, what do you know? This one actually feels almost a little more aggressive, I think, because that bezel than other models has. So yeah, I like it. No surprises there.
Yeah, same for me. I was honestly not really taken by the Fotina loom that we saw in the photographs that were online from Tudor. But seeing it in person, it's a lot more subtle, I would say, and doesn't seem as aggressively like creamy, although it certainly has a tint to the hour indices. But I don't think it's as noticeable in person, at least in this lighting that we've seen it in. And I really like that orange GMT hand on it. It's really fitting.
Yeah, I like the orange GMT hand. I agree that the color is not offensive in person. It's definitely like creamier. This is the Lingy. This is crisp white, you can see. And this one, it's like a kind of a khaki, almost peachy color, but not, like I said, it doesn't feel like Fotina. And I really don't think that they were trying to make you think that this was like a vintage Pelagos. Like, that doesn't make sense. To me, it's sort of putting it in line with the LHD, which was another sort of outlier Pelagos model, the old left-hand drive, for those of you who remember it, which also had a different creamy colored loom. Actually, I think it had a creamy date disc on that too.
Yes, it did.
It was a little funky. But it looked like to me, it had a very sin-like quality to it, which I always liked. So
yeah. Are there a lot of differences spec-wise between this and the regular FXD size-wise? Or are they pretty
they're
close?
Identical. Okay. I think 12.7 millimeters thick, whatever's 42 by 52. But the 52 is like to the edge of the bow of this strap guard, which is why it sounds really long. It does not wear like a 52 millimeter.
Just the downward lugs make it wear really nice on the wrist.
This is probably the same, and like it does not feel too big for my wrist.
Yeah, absolutely. And these come in, I think, at a price point of just over $4,600 US dollars, which sort of in the price bracket we would assume a GMT from Tudor would land in. Yeah,
certainly. It's not even their most expensive. They don't just like increase the price every time they launch a new watch like some brands do. Even though this is a master chronometer, which is like makes it a little bit more rigorously tested than other models, but there's no bracelet. Like, they aren't charging you for what you're not getting.
And the Tudor Black Bay Pro that you owned had the same movement inside. Was that right?
I believe so, but that wasn't master chronometer. I know that the exact version is then in the most recent like Black Bay 58.
Oh, okay.
That came out this year, because that was also master chronometer. I just don't remember if they changed the reference number for that or not.
Would you go for this watch over a regular FXD or?
It's tricky. I like that it has additional features. I like that it has the date.
I guess one call out we haven't talked about is like the French Navy connection too with this watch, as we see here on the strap keeper that is removable for those that are curious. I thought maybe it had been attached, but it is actually removable from that strap if you prefer to take it off or flip it around.
No, I like that it has added features. I think it would come down to aesthetics and sort of looking at them side by side. That bezel, the 24-hour bezel, is very aggressive, but like it's not like the normal bezel is not aggressive either.
I've always felt the FXDs were a bit busy in nature on the bezels with all the lines. So to me, this is not that different. In fact, I think it might be a little cleaner in my opinion.
Interesting.
I do like the GMT quite a bit.
Yeah. And I would never use a rotating 24-hour GMT bezel. I'm not capable of like mentally tracking 3 time zones, but leaving it fixed, I think it functions well for the 24-hour. If it was like I had to choose, like I went there to buy one, I probably would.
Yeah.
I probably would. Yeah.
So this is referenced as like the Zulu Time, which is based on the UTC. Can you tell folks about what that means versus like a regular GMT?
Well, sometimes they're sort of interchangeable
Yeah.
terms. UTC is Universal Coordinated Time. I think they switched the T and the C, which is confusing when you actually read it out. Coordinated time versus time coordinated. But, it's based on, Greenwich Mean Time once again, but rather than being about the city, it's about where 0 hour is from which you get the time zone deviations.
Yeah.
There are ways in which pilots use that, and this is where I'm going to get kind of sloppy about it. But I think, and that's why potentially you also have the third time zone. You kind of always know where UTC or Greenwich Mean Time is, and then your deviations from
home,
that.
and then your travel time along with that. That's a lot to keep up with for me.
Yeah, but their military pilots is probably the least of their concerns at the moment. I would hope.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, we're excited to spend more time with this watch. If you have any questions about it, leave comments below. And we should have this watch for a few more days, and we'll do a little write-up on the site. But let us know what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.